Welcome to the show. I'm Bill Nye, and I'm here to, dare I say it,
make you cringe! Seriously, this is not just me. Look at the Netflix reviews in the subreddit for this show. Even Bill Nye's most loyal fans are extremely disappointed.
Cause my sex joke is so much more than either If they're alive, I'll date them. Channing or Janitate them. I'm down for anything. Don't box in my box.
Anyway, given that Bill Nye is notorious for his climate crusading, I'm gonna focus on the first episode because the first episode is about climate change. Woo! The most outrageous part about this episode is when Bill Nye hosts a panel of guests to discuss how people can get off of fossil fuel energy.
what's your alternative?
The alternative is nuclear power. We already have a safe, clean source of zero carbon energy, and it already provides 1/5 of the electricity in this country. But we're closing down nuclear plants. Right?
So here's the problem for me, civilian, normal guy. Why do we, normal-ish, why do we want to go making more nuclear power plants when B, nobody wants them, and A, we probably don't need them?
What the fuck? So let's get this straight. Bill Nye is so concerned about climate change that he wants to completely eliminate fossil fuel use.
We need to eliminate 80% of all fossil fuel and biofuel emissions.
But the goal really is 100%.
Yet when presented with a reliable alternative like nuclear power, Bill Nye rules it out because 1, we don't need it, and 2, nobody wants it. Wow, what an intelligent, scientific explanation for his stance.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Let's address the first point. We don't need it. Bill, you're the one that's crying wolf about climate change and saying that we need to reduce our fossil fuel use to 0. If anyone is saying that we need a form of alternative energy that produces 0 carbon emissions, it's you. You're the one on this crusade against fossil fuels. Eliminating fossil fuel use by 100% would have serious consequences given that 2/3 of America's energy comes from fossil fuels. So ruling out any form of energy that produces 0 carbon emissions, like nuclear power, is insanely reckless.
We probably don't need them. Is that a true fact or a false fact? That's a joke. False fact's a joke.
No, it's true. So the idea is to transform the energy infrastructures of states and countries to 100% clean, renewable energy for all purposes.
That's impossible.
Some would say. Many people would say it's impossible, but actually it's technologically and economically possible. The main barriers are social and political.
You're saying we have the technology right now to run the whole place renewably?
Yes, we have the technology, and the costs are reasonable enough that you can power the entire world for all purposes with clean, renewable energy and have stable electricity, create jobs, and stabilize energy prices.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's bet the house on one guy's plan. Why even have the nuclear guy on this panel to begin with? This does not mention the fact that over the past decade, the United States government and many states have invested billions of dollars in solar and wind technology, and it still does not hold a candle to fossil fuels in terms of reliability and scalability.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
This irrational resistance to nuclear power makes me wonder what Bill Nye's motive really is. Is it to save the world from climate change? Or is it to pander to his progressive audience and pay lip service to environmentalist assholes that will eventually seek to destroy solar panels and wind farms once they find out how many birds are killed as a result? Bill's second point is even more egregious.
B, nobody wants them. No, nobody really wants nuclear power plants. I mean, I've been to Johannesburg and Olympia, Washington in the United States, and there are cooling towers in the middle of town. And they just got shut down before they got built because people just don't want it.
So sell people on it, you arrogant asshats. Again, Bill, you're the one that's on this crusade against fossil fuels and warning everyone about climate change. It's up to you to sell people on reliable alternative forms of energy that don't produce carbon emissions. It would be like if during the AIDS scare of the 80s and 90s, if people were discussing how to prevent the spread of AIDS, if someone suggested that people use condoms more during sex, and Bill Nye the science fraud saying,
nobody wants them. People just don't want it.
Well, tough shit. Bill even analogized World War II by applauding the greatest generation for doing what needed to be done. Hey, Bill, do you think Americans during the 40s wanted to storm the beaches of Normandy while facing a barrage of bullets? This all does not mention the fact that this reasoning completely contradicts the entire purpose of this discussion to begin with, exploring alternative options to fossil fuel energy. Let's see. Why is it so hard to convince people to stop using fossil fuels? Oh, that's right, because nobody wants to do it. Because over 2/3 of America's energy comes from fossil fuels. Because many people's lives and jobs and investments depend on it. Because people love driving fast cars for long distances without having to charge them every 200 miles. Because people hate paying high electric bills. Because people love living in big houses, flying private jets, and throwing parties on big boats. I'm looking at you, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Which raises the question, how could mankind wait so long and accept so much suffering and self-destruction? Would we ever be wise enough to stop these forces of greed for fossil fuel profits to finally bring lasting peace and protection to our shared planet?
Because people hate paying higher prices for food and other essential products. Because a lot of people are making fat stacks off of the shale revolution. Because people love living in warm housing, especially if they don't live in sunny Southern California where solar power is more reliable. People may feel guilty about using fossil fuels, but they're still unwilling to give them up because doing so would mean resorting to a much lower standard of living. Sorry, Bill, not everyone can make 6 figures a year playing pretend scientist on TV and giving speaking engagements at colleges.
Nobody wants them.
That's not a legitimate answer, Bill. Is this a science show or is this an opinion show? Are you Bill Nye the science guy or Bill Nye the progressive pandering dipshit? By the way, Bill, I don't know if you've noticed, but Alex Epstein has challenged you to a debate on the morality of fossil fuels. Are you gonna step up to the plate or are you gonna continue to play with toy dinosaurs? This is why I can't take Bill Nye seriously. Forget the fact that he has not worked in science in over 30 years and rather has pursued a career in comedy and entertainment. He's constantly warning everyone about climate change while urging everyone to reduce their fossil fuel use, yet he's completely unwilling to embrace an alternative form of energy like nuclear power for no reason whatsoever other than people don't want it. Well, Bill, people don't want to stop using fossil fuels either.
I'm Bill Nye, and I'm here to, dare I say it, save the world.
How about you save everyone from your bullshit by shutting the fuck up?